The strongest influence in a child's life? Their mother. When we think of Napoleon Bonaparte, we usually remember his legendary victories, iconic battles, and the unmatched path he carved through Europe. But behind all that glory lies a lesser known side: his family, especially one quiet yet powerful woman who helped raise a historical genius, his mother, Letizia Ramolino. In today's video, we'll explore the complex, emotional, and deeply moving relationship between Napoleon and his family, to remind us that even an emperor was once a son, shaped by his mother's influence. Napoleon was born in Ajaccio, Corsica, in 1769, just as the island fell into French hands after years of resistance. His family belonged to the local minor nobility, respected but not wealthy. His father, Carlo Buonaparte, was an ambitious lawyer. His mother, Letizia, was a strict, practical, and resilient woman who became the emotional backbone of the family, especially after Carlo's early death left her to raise 8 children in poverty. Napoleon grew up in a large family with 6 brothers and 2 sisters. As the second child, he quickly showed exceptional leadership and independence. But what's most notable is how deeply he bonded with his mother from a young age. Letizia wasn't a soft or indulgent parent. She raised her children with iron discipline, strict moral values, and by personal example. During wartime, when Genoese troops destroyed Ajaccio, she fled through the forest, carrying her children one by one. That image of a strong, fearless mother who never wept became the foundation of Napoleon's unyielding character. Letizia believed that poverty was no excuse for surrender. She taught her children, never complain. Either change your fate or be buried by it. Napoleon never forgot those words. As a teenager, he wrote letters to his younger brother, repeating his mother's teachings as his personal code of conduct. For him, she was not just the woman who gave birth to him, but the one who built the moral framework, discipline, and sense of responsibility that guided him. When his father Carlo died in 1785, Napoleon was just 16. The weight of the family fell on Letizia and Napoleon. While she managed the household, he quickly transformed from a young officer into the financial, emotional, and symbolic pillar of the family. In the years that followed, wherever he went, he cared for her, sending money and letters regularly and making sure she lived in comfort. But their relationship wasn't always smooth. Letizia was one of the few people in Napoleon's life who dared to criticize him. When he declared himself emperor in 1804, she refused to attend the coronation. She said, "Let's wait and see if this actually succeeds before we celebrate." It wasn't that she didn't believe in him. She simply understood that even greatness can collapse in a day. Letizia never used her son's power for personal gain. She lived quietly, stayed away from politics, and tried to keep her children grounded, warning them not to be blinded by luxury or pride. Even when Napoleon made his brothers kings of Spain, Italy, Holland, and Naples, it was she who reminded them that nothing lasts forever, that power should never cloud a person's judgment. To Napoleon, his mother was the only person he truly feared and respected. In his private letters, he called her the greatest woman I have ever known. When she became ill, even during intense military campaigns, he paused to write to doctors with detailed instructions. After each battle, he wrote home asking about the family, especially about her health. She wasn't just his mother. She was his guardian spirit, silently watching over him and keeping him connected to his true self. Letizia lived on after Napoleon's downfall, his exile, the loss of his empire and reputation. But she never blamed him. She said, "He achieved things none of us ever dared to dream. Now he needs peace." After Napoleon died on St. Helena in 1821, Letizia lived quietly for 15 more years in Italy. She never called herself the mother of a fallen emperor, just the mother of a son who gave everything for his ideals. What's remarkable is that Letizia never gave public interviews or wrote memoirs. She didn't need to. Her life, from a war-torn Corsican girl to the mother of the French emperor and then back to a quiet, shadowed existence, was a living book. That silent, powerful life laid the foundation for a genius like Napoleon. People may praise his victories at Austerlitz, Jena, or Marengo, but if you look closely, behind every major decision, every time he rose from failure, stood a woman, invisible to the world, uninterested in glory, but more influential than any advisor, his mother. Napoleon once said, "A good mother is worth more than 100 teachers." And if you ever need proof of that, just look at Letizia Bonaparte. The relationship between Napoleon and his family, especially with his mother, is proof that no matter how brilliant or powerful a person becomes, they can never escape the influence of where they came from. It is those emotional roots that give depth to figures like Napoleon, turning them into symbols not just of power, but of resilience, loyalty, and love. If this story touched something in you, don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Have you ever considered how deeply a mother can shape a child's destiny? And if you want to explore more untold stories about Napoleon, about his loved ones, romances, friendships, enemies, and the darker sides of his soul, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Our channel will continue to bring history to life in the most vivid and human way possible.